Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 191 of the High Sensitivity Podcast, and thank you for listening. If it's your first time here, we talk about video game and movie news as well as what we watched or played over the week. My name is Barry, along with my co hosts.
My name is Craig. That's it.
Oh, my name is also Craig. The weather is cold. The news is hot.
Dang it. You
Ooh.
got my transition. Good transition,
Ooh.
though.
I got
Yep.
some chills there. Whew.
All right, we got a lot talking about. I'm going to try and avoid the ones I think you guys will talk about because then
Okay.
we, avoid having too much and me saying too much. One of them will be Emmy season, as Emmys happened on Monday, which is the day after we record, so it's about a week. Pretty much the big winners there are The Bear, Succession, Abbott, Elementary tend to be the big winners there. The losers are The Last of Us
Yep.
and Better Call Saul, which got set a record for being nominated the most times and not winning anything. So keep that in mind. Did you guys watch Better Call Saul?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite shows of all time.
Oh, there we go.
I have not dabbled, but it's on my list. It's just the thing I keep passing. But I've heard it's amazing, especially for anybody who even semi likes Breaking Bad.
Correct. Breaking Bad is still the better show, but Better Call Saul's like right there.
Which is saying a lot because Breaking
Mhm.
Bad is arguably one of the best series of all time. I know that we don't want to start that debate because we won't get through the
Right.
news or anything, but
Next up on my list then is going to be we are getting an Act 2 for Near Reincarnation, the mobile game. I did not expect this. I finished the main story. I never thought I'd have to go back to this game again. Yoko Taro has now blessed me, and now I'm back playing Reincarnation to get ready for the Act 2 portion of things. So if you're interested, take a look at the trailer, but I'm just not sure where because it's a Japanese like mobile game in a way. They usually get the updates first, and then we get the English voice casted updates at a later time. So I'm most likely, as much as I want to play it, probably be looking on YouTube for translations once it comes out. It stinks, but nah.
What does it play like Near?
No,
no.
Okay.
not really. It's if I had to say it plays like anything, there is some light puzzling
Okay.
to do. And then kind of think of the combat in Final Fantasy 13 2, where your characters automatically kind of attack and you're filling up that, action meter at the bottom. Once that fills up, you then do special attacks.
Okay.
So it's not anything groundbreaking. They give you enough free stuff to make it a walk in the park to complete the game. So, if you're interested in the Near universe, you can play this. It is kind of weird. Dark stories too. Interesting. And lastly, what I'll go through, which I know for Craig and I, this is a big deal.
I know where you're
Rock,
going.
Rock Band 4 to end DLC support
Yeah.
starting
Ooh.
January 25th. After more than 3,000 songs and continued DLC release for Rock Band, we are finally reaching the end. In the article that they released, they did mention that a lot of this is because of the turn toward Fortnite's music playing gauge. So I will probably end up trying this portion of things. I haven't tried the Fortnite music thing, but
It's
once it
good.
adds the controller support, I will probably try it.
Yep.
Or the Rock Band controller support. But until then, it's a sad day for all Rock Banders.
Yep. As we all slowly turn towards Microsoft and being like, "Hey, where's that Guitar Hero you were
Yeah, for real.
referencing?"
For
The
real.
time is now. The Fortnite stuff is good. It'll be a lot better when you can use your guitar and drums and all that. But like just
Yeah.
using your controller is still fun. And they rotate the songs out every day, which is kind of cool. And you can always go and buy the songs if you want. But it is sad. I get it. But I still have hope that either Rock Band or Guitar Hero will show up again sometime soon.
Yeah, it's very sad that the support is ending after all this time. Do we think, like in actuality, that there, like that down the road there will be something like that?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Guitar Hero, I think, is coming
Yeah.
back.
Fortnite adding it into its game mode and all of these people, uh, what they've now kind of discovered is it doesn't have to be rock and roll music necessarily that you have to do. It can be alternative. It can be hip hop as long as the music is tied to the beat is the music you're playing at. So now that they've kind of discovered that you can do that, it opens up a whole new genre of music that you can really try. Whereas with all of the previous Guitar Hero and rock bands, you really weren't playing The Weeknd or Ariana Grande's music in any of those games. Now you can. So,
Yeah.
and now they have enough more money than God, so probably they can really afford any music licensing rights that they need to get the
Yeah.
best songs that they can.
Yeah, and
True.
that's a good point that, opening it up to the hip hop genre, other genres in general. I mean, like you could play the entire Roots discography on Rock Band for the most part, like,
Mm-hmm.
not so that's a good point.
Yep.
But I'll let you guys jump into some of the other stuff, and whatever you miss, I'll clean up.
Okay. I thought this was interesting. We got the list of the best-selling games of 2023.
Mhm.
And lo and behold, the best-selling game was Hogwarts Legacy.
Beat out
Look at
Call of
that.
Duty.
Beat out Call of Duty, and Madden was number 3. Spider-Man 2 was number 4. Tears of the Kingdom was number 5.
Mm.
But I mean, at first that jumped out to me. I was like, dang, Hogwarts coming in. But then I was like, you know what? It makes sense because it grabbed every audience, not just the gamer. So obviously it would sell the most. But still, to outsell Call of Duty is a big deal.
That is big.
Yeah,
It was a console seller though. Barry. Shout out to Barry's mom. Was that weird to do
Yep.
that? Just
I
Yep.
was
shout out his
thinking
mom.
that a little bit, maybe, but it's whatever.
I'm sorry, Barry's mom.
Shout out Barry's mom, longtime listener.
Longtime supporter.
Yep. Checks in every week.
Yep.
Bakes some cookies and sends them well wishes.
Yes.
Shout out to Barry's mom.
I was gonna say maybe even a bottle of butter beer. That was a Harry Potter
That was
joke.
good. I like that. The other thing I had, we finally got a date. We'll put it in parentheses for Stalker 2. September 5th is what we're looking at now. How many times has that game had a date now?
Oh man.
Okay. Yeah.
A
I don't
lot.
know. It's a lot. But it's a long time coming. I mean, we've spoken enough on this show about how supportive we are and how sad of a story it is of why the game actually got pushed back multiple times. So,
Mm-hmm.
this is one of those that even if it was on Game Pass or offered free on any type of platform, I would buy just in support.
Yeah.
But it also looks great too.
Yeah.
It also looks fantastic.
And then besides the little conference, which I'll leave that for you, Craig. I thought this was interesting. I just wanted to bring up, as of right now, when you look at 2024, I do not see any PlayStation exclusives coming out this year.
Well, there will be
Yes,
exclusive. They just haven't announced them yet.
correct. But I'm more so like, what do you think is going to be this year? I mean, we
So
got The Last of Us Part 2 just
yeah,
this week.
Mhm.
That
yeah.
counts. But other than that, like, what do you think is coming out? It's not Wolverine.
It's not
That's not
Wolverine.
anywhere close to being done.
It's gonna be some of I think the odd ends of like exclusive wides like from Sony like from
Yeah.
PlayStation Studios. I think would be Stellar Blade. Like
Yeah.
I think we're getting that this year. Of a game that we'll talk about earlier, Granblue Fantasy Relink is also coming only to PlayStation.
Mhm.
It's not PlayStation Studio.
Right. We're talking like PlayStation
PlayStation
Studios. Like,
exclusive.
what's the big ones this year that you would think? Because last year we had what, Spider-Man, and I'm missing one, right? Or was it just Spider-Man last year as like a PlayStation Studios? It may have just been Spider-Man.
It may have.
Forbidden West DLC, but
Yeah.
that's DLC.
Yeah. True. In general, the only reason I'm putting that question out there is because when you look across like the exclusives, they've kind of dried up. Xbox has been kind of dry for a while as
Mhm.
far as exclusives, but like now PlayStation is kind of dry. Nintendo, we always have something, one or two a year, but I just thought it was interesting that we haven't gotten like a definitive, yeah, this is coming out as a PlayStation exclusive this year.
Yeah, I guess Chia would probably be one of the other ones. Let me bring up
Yeah.
what it could be.
I was like racking my brain, like what's a big thing that they could announce as coming out this year? But it would have probably already been announced at some point.
Yes, of course. That's a good call with Chia. Barry, I never would have thought of that, even though I gave that game like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, there's Stellar. There's a Stellar Blade, Helldivers 2 is
Yeah.
something from them.
Nothing major though. Like that big Sony always has like that one, at least one big marquee game in the fall every year, whether it's God of War, Spider-Man, Uncharted, whatever. Horizon.
I don't know why I can't think, because
Yeah.
like I can't think of anything, because like every time I'm trying to think of PlayStation exclusives, like obviously we already counted out Wolverine, because
Yep.
that's definitely down the line. They're nowhere close to that. But
Rise of Ronin.
Does that count as an exclusive?
I thought it was an exclusive. Maybe not.
Okay.
Or is that maybe it's Ronin that's an exclusive?
It might be. I'm just trying to remember who actually. It's Team Ninja. Which Team Ninja makes stuff for Xbox too, I think, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of all over the place.
It's still early. We got plenty of time. We're still in January, so I'm sure there'll be something this fall that Sony will have. But so far, nothing really. But that's all I had. I'll give it to you, Craig.
All right. Well, the big news, which thank you, gentlemen, for letting me announce it. But like we had the Developer Direct event on Thursday. What was it? Roughly 50 minutes, I would say. I feel like it wasn't the full hour, but it wasn't 45 minutes. It was roughly 50 minutes. But we got a nice deep dive into specific games, including what I consider like pretty good developer interviews. It seemed like every team had a different thing to bring, but we did get a deep dive into Indiana Jones, the new Indiana Jones game in the Great Circle, Avowed, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, Ara History Untold. The big surprise for me, and I enjoyed, if I could just speak on this briefly, the template that they had the developers direct in, because it was just kind of like that screen where you were seeing somebody interact with the different game like titles on the screen, but they were able to move the titles around and introduce a surprise visions of mana. I loved that. And I kind of yelped. If I that's the I think that's the noise I made. I yelped a little bit when that jumped on, because it was very nice. And I feel like I'm missing one more game.
It was 5 total, right?
It was 5 total. Okay. For some reason, I don't know why I thought it was 6.
You got them all.
So, what are we most excited for, gentlemen? What do we think about just the entire direct as a whole? We got some dates, we got some 2024s, but we also got like some firm dates. Like for example, Senua's.
Barry finally got his release date.
Finally, yeah, it's about dang time, and I'm glad that it's kind of not like a fall. Like they are releasing it in the middle of the year. Like to be fair, like credit to Xbox, all of these games coming out 2024. On top of all of the stuff that's already coming out of 2024. If I had to say I'm excited for anything,
mine's obvious.
I would say
mine too.
I would say Senua, as like Senua and Avowed are very close for me. I know I didn't grow up with Indiana Jones too much, so I understand you guys may be a little bit more excited. For that, but I guess we just have to hope that it's good. Xbox's exclusives have not necessarily all been hits here, so there's a little bit of pause that I must.
Now these are the developers from Wolfenstein, right?
Yes,
that are doing Indiana Jones. I love the Wolfenstein games, so like I think it's a cool idea that they're kind of mixing first and third person.
Yeah, that was the bit of news that I was going to, I guess, add to what would essentially be my news, which was, first person change. And then also that Senua Saga is going to be a digital only release as well,
Yep.
which we like to talk about anyway because we're all physical collectors. So
Yep.
I'm excited. I don't know. I'm still digesting Avowed. That was essentially
It looked
what
a little weird, didn't it?
it
Was that
did.
just me that thought it looked a little strange? I'm not sure if that's just
Mhm.
the art style, but all right, yeah, glad it's not just me.
I feel like it could be
Yeah.
another Starfield.
I don't know how I felt about not the antagonist, but like the standard bad guys you fight. Like I don't know what to think of that. I was trying to put a piece to get like put it together in my head as if I would even try this if it was free. You know, I don't
Mhm.
know. Maybe there'll be another trailer coming soon that'll make me feel more inclined to do it. But for me, it's Senua, Visions as well. I love Mana from back in the day, so
Yep.
um, that's
That
gonna
one
be a
I
good
don't
one.
believe is an exclusive though. Like that's just Square
It's
Enix,
No.
yeah.
Yeah. But
no,
it's on Game Pass,
but it's
right?
on Game Pass, which is why I'm
Right.
excited. That's all. That's
Yep.
the yeah. I
Damn,
just
good on them. Good on
one
them.
less game to buy, and then Indiana Jones because I'm a '90s kid, '80s baby. So I mean, come
Also
on.
on Game Pass.
Yes.
All of these games I think they announced were on Game Pass, right?
Mhm.
Avowed is. So I'll try Avowed. I wasn't not super excited about it. For me, it was Indiana Jones, 100%. And then, I mean, Senua, obviously. I got to play through the first one again before it comes out for sure.
Well, it's good. It's not a long one. You know, it's like what a 20 hour.
I think it's less than that.
Yeah, it's less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also enjoyed what they were showing in terms of the Indiana Jones trailer, like what they were trying to stay true to, like like when the lady was describing how first person for the majority, but they wanted to maintain you being able to see Indiana Jones silhouette. So when you have
Hmm.
to go up ladders and such like that, that's not something that's uncommon or hasn't been done yet, but it means a lot to the people who grew up with those movies or even watch those movies today to like see a little bit of Indiana Jones himself. Then of course the whip. And
Yep.
I enjoy that it seems like they're putting in a good amount of puzzle solving. They even said puzzle solving you don't have to do, but like if you want more lore, you can do. So I thought that was interesting as well. Um, I don't know. That's going to be good. And then Senua, it looked like it brought it a little bit more into Barry's style of history because did they say that it's like where's she going? Like Vikings or
Yeah. And Barry's style of history?
well,
Yep.
not I wasn't going style of history. I was trying to make a segue
What does
into your
that
favorite
mean?
collection of gods, but it's I don't think technically it is. Um because you know that's we'll just we'll pretend I didn't say that. But anyway, Senua for the delivery. And I'm gonna have to play this one with a pair of headphones because I did not play the original one with it. So I kind of want to hear.
I recently went through the original with headphones. I had never played Senua's
Ooh,
Okay.
before, and it is mind melding. Like
Hmm.
with headphones, the voices and stuff. Like I get headaches
yeah,
trying to deal with it, and I know that the big selling point this time around for this game is that they've taken it up to another notch
Yep.
in sound design. So I do kind of hope, like I do have a I don't mean to brag. I have a very nice sound system.
Hmm.
If it can take advantage of that, I will be very happy. Just because I like the immersion that the sound like a sound system can give you. So if they can really take advantage of that, I would be very very happy.
yeah,
True.
yeah. It was a good overall direct. I don't know. Is anybody excited for Ara?
No.
Okay,
I might
That
try it on PC.
Unfortunately, Civ has never been my type
mm,
of
Yeah.
RTS. I so much prefer like the Age of Empires sort of route. You know, we've been told that we are getting something from Age of Mythology at some point. You know, in the coming years, and I please give me that, and
yeah,
I will melt. But other than that,
yeah.
um,
I had one that I forgot real quick. Just
Mhm.
one small bit of news. We may be talking about this game later. I don't want to ruin it if we are, which is when later is like 5 minutes from now. But Palworld, aka
Yeah.
Pokemon with Guns, sold 1 million copies just 8 hours after launch. Holy moly!
Insane. Yeah.
good for
Holy
them.
Insane.
Good
holy
for them.
moly! Yeah, take that, Game Freak.
Yeah, and this and like we'll talk about it probably later, as you mentioned as well. But Palworld's just taken the entire internet by storm here.
I'd never
Uh,
even heard of it until this week.
oh, I knew it was
I
coming
remember.
out.
I remember
Okay.
hearing about it.
Yeah.
I Pokemon with Guns. That's what it was. It was dubbed. I
Yeah.
remembered it. I didn't realize it was coming out this week. It just kind of like
I just saw it. I saw it on Game Pass, and I was like, "Wait, what?" So I was like, "Oh, let me try it out." But yeah, that also side note that I wanted to plug in here, the state of gaming in 2024 specifically, when I was looking at it, are we to the point where you almost don't need to buy games anymore? Because, and we're gonna talk about it in games, but Prince of Persia, right? The new Prince of Persia. Um, I have all right. So I have Game Pass. I have PlayStation Plus. I have Ubisoft Plus.
I didn't know. So you do have Ubisoft Plus?
Yes,
Okay.
I pay for it, but yes, um, I don't need to buy like anything anymore because they had Prince of Persia. The thing with Ubisoft Plus is like, yeah, I'm not. This isn't a plug for it. It's like $18 a month. It's expensive, and their library is not very big, but they give you like the highest edition of each game
Oh,
to
okay.
download, right?
wow.
So that means instead of playing on Friday, I could start playing on Tuesday. But as I was playing that, I was like, okay, so Prince of Persia, um, Avatar, and then Palworld on Game Pass, Indiana Jones, all these games coming out. PlayStation Plus doesn't really do it as much, but I'm at the point now where I look around and I'm like, all these games this year, I'm probably only going to have to buy like 3. It's
You're not wrong.
insane.
You're not
It's
wrong.
insane. And I know
Yeah.
Ubisoft just came out talking about it too, where they said they foresee buying games as a thing of the past and everybody will eventually just be subscription based for everything.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Yeah.
If I've because there's a lot of talk about specifically that as well.
Mm-hmm.
With a lot of people, and I see it a lot in those posts that Ubisoft made about it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if buying is not owning, then piracy is theft. So
True.
it's gonna be a slippery slope if that's what the gaming industry decides to go through. I get it that discs are starting to become something of the past, where
Yep.
everybody wants it digitally. But if it's not owning it, then when the world comes collapsing down, you lose that game, or if the developer just decides to take it away. Not that they would, but
Right.
something I worry about. But hopefully it's not something we have to. I don't know.
I guess I
Probably have
just
to
look
deal
at
with.
it as like my routine used to be go buy the game for $60 at the time, beat it, and then about a couple months later, go into GameStop and trade it in because I'm not going to play it anymore and use that credit towards the next game. And it was
Mhm.
just this repeating process. Now it's just like download the game, play it, beat it, delete it off my console. And if I really want to play it later, I will. But I know we like to have stuff on like our shelves and everything, but I've still not completely changed over to digital only. I'm just like, man, the amount of money that it's saving me is insane. It's just absolutely insane.
Yeah, because you can even clean up other maybe things you don't want to own. You can clean things up
Yep.
with GameFly
Yep.
as well.
And
So
that's
like
I have that too.
theoretically,
So like
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
have no reason to buy anything.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's all
that's
subscriptions for
insane.
me.
Yeah.
I still buy like the big ones every year. I'm like, yep, I'm
Oh, yeah.
getting that. I'm getting that. But yeah, it's crazy.
Also, are you guys getting? I know we're doing a lot of side notes here, but
Mhm.
I'm taking notes as we get further and further in the year. I'm actually trying to buy more physical copies of games because of the inevitable, which is like physical games not being a thing,
Mhm.
down the road. So like I was thinking that when I was like considering what games I wanted to pre-order this year, like earlier in January. So that's something that I've been keeping in mind. I don't know if you guys have had any increase in that. But
Yeah, but like 95% of your physical games don't even have the game on the disc anymore. You put it in and it still downloads it.
Yeah.
So like at that point, are we going to get to the point where I put my copy of Modern Warfare 3 in because that's not on the disc either and they don't have it available for me to download anymore? That disc is worthless.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's literally worthless.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna just do these digital things and then look on Etsy for steelbooks for like some creative fan of the games we
Probably.
like to just make a steelbook
That's
for
what.
like
Yeah,
that's what,
that's what
I was eyeing up the Sea of Stars release. They just made one on
I
like a
saw that.
limited run.
Yeah, I think it's on. I think it's on IM 8-bit.
Yep.
They're doing it. I actually thought about it, and this is just an aside too. I know we're doing
Mhm.
all sorts of
That's
asides
fine.
right now. But like I was like I already told Craig about what I'm gifting him. I saw the Sea of Stars vinyl, and I'm probably getting that for you as a gift. Uh, because I don't know. I just wanted to get my friends vinyls as gifts.
we love
So
you, Barry.
I mean, but that's the thing. Like, give me those special versions of games that I've played digitally, and I will buy them. Like, I'm
Yeah.
eyeing
Mhm.
up that Sea of Stars. I will buy an Alan Wake 2 physical special
Yeah.
edition in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I feel like it's the best of both worlds. I play it when it comes out. They do a release 6 months later. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll get it and play through it again. That's I might get that Sea of Stars. We'll see.
yeah.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right,
So
games.
the only thing I just want to mention
Yeah.
from that's lastly for news is that Golden Sun has been added to the GBA Advanced Emulator for
Ooh.
words. If you're interested, both I think the first and second game. And
Okay.
second of all, the biggest release, Foam Stars, is being released February 6th.
PlayStation Plus, right?
Yes, I am.
Yep.
Yes, I am very interested about Foam Stars just because it is a
Me too.
really weird. It looks like a really weird game, so I'm all for
Yeah.
it. But
I
games
get
this
real mad when you compare it to Splatoon, though.
Yeah,
It
They
comes
don't
with
like
don't
it.
compare to Splatoon.
it comes with the territory. Come on.
It's Splatoon. Come on now.
Games this week. You can call me the demo man, as I
Okay.
played the demo for Granblue Fantasy Relink. Granblue Fantasy Relink.
Couldn't wait a
And
week.
no, I couldn't. I didn't even know I didn't even know there was a demo until the other day. And
Mhm.
then another Code Recollection demo on Switch.
What? What? Another code? Okay.
I'm interested in both your takes on that, Barry. Really.
Just wait.
Okay. So I know I had my movie New Year's resolution. My gaming New Year's resolution this year is to give games at least 2 hours instead of playing
Okay.
them for 10 minutes. That's my
Okay.
resolution. Okay. So the games I played this week, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. I beat that bad boy. I'm done with it.
Ooh, nice.
Um, I am
Gamer.
about 3 hours into Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, and I only got about an hour of Palworld, so I got to go back to that.
All right, I got about 7 to 8 hours of Palworld.
Okay,
Okay.
In,
good. We're covering this week,
and
guys.
Yeah,
then
we are. Yeah, we
and
are.
then randomly, I don't know why I started it. It was on
Oh
Game
my
Pass.
god.
No, but it's We Happy Few is a game
Oh
on.
god.
Yeah, I started that randomly because I needed something different. My wife actually, we played that one together, so I have some thoughts on that old game, but that's on Game Pass for some reason.
You really got to finish some of these games instead of starting these random games all the time.
Yes. Selfishly,
Uh-huh.
and Barry,
Okay.
don't specifically be mad, but
Oh god.
I started and then decided not to play Final Fantasy 14.
Okay.
It's why
I'm
would I
not
be mad at
playing it.
that? Why would
I
that
well, I don't know because I don't know. You just seem like maybe the person that'd be mad because like you were like, don't get into Honkai, and then I got into Honkai, and and, and then I start another 120-hour game.
Final Fantasy 14 is a completely different animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like Honkai, and I get it. You like Honkai, that's perfectly fine. It's got a lot of the Persona vibe to it and a lot of anime stuff. So, like, I get that you can like that game. That's perfectly fine. It's like Final Fantasy 14. I've tried playing that multiple times, and it is. I get overwhelmed because there's too much.
There is.
In an MMORPG for me sometimes. Nevertheless, who wants to start?
Give us those demos, Barry.
Yeah, talk about
Okay.
dem it up.
I'm the demo man this week. So first, I'll talk about another Code Recollection demo. These and also this was announced during one of the Nintendo Directs, but this is good. This is a remake of two classic games. One called Trace Memory, which was on the DS, and another game I think called Trace Memory Another R that was on the Wii but was never released in the US. So these games are technically they are very, especially from the demo, very slow paced story mystery puzzle games, where you're solving puzzles and you're learning about the world and its characteristics. Many people consider this series a cult classic because the world building lore story is apparently like very good bar none, but it is a very, very, very slow burn. The game takes its time. It does not like it's a slow game. I'll be completely honest. It's hard for me to like get excited for this game just because there are these little tiny things where like I don't think necessarily the characters are bad. I think the character seems interesting for right now, and this is off of playing an hour and a half of the demo where you need to go into the settings to increase the vertical and or like looking around sensitivity because it's really bad to begin with. And then second of all, like menus just stay up a little too long. Like there will if I go to an item and it says like it can't be used here, it sits there for about another 2 or 3 seconds before it allows me to move and continue. And I just wish it was something more instant, whereas I'm not just sitting there looking at text waiting for it to disappear. Because you can literally feel like, okay, I gotta wait. Now I can go. It's the kind of thing. It's really strange. It's it's a remaster. I don't know if this is the type of game that I'm going to like. I tried the demo because I thought, like hey, murder. It's I don't know if it's murder or not, but like a mystery puzzle game, I can get behind that as long as the story's good enough. I haven't gotten into the story yet. That's where I'm at. I feel like it's hard to sell that type of game on a demo
Yeah.
because you have to really get into it, and especially considering that this game is a slow burn, you may not even get to the juiciness of a mystery story
Yeah, of course.
if you don't give it the time, or if the demo doesn't give you the time to get to it either.
Demos, man. So weird hearing demos in 2024.
Yeah.
It is.
Now, the real demo. Let me
The
tell you
real
guys, Granblue Fantasy Relink demo. Oh boy, this game.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, I'm in. I am bought.
So our bet is on then for next week?
So here's the thing about this. Apparently, the main game is only like 20 hours.
Oh, well,
What?
No, it's nothing. I know it's nothing like 100, and that's so. I did a whole ton of research on this today after playing the demo. Main campaign's going to be 20 to 30 hours. All of the quests and subquests, if you want to do them, will net you like 100 hours in that game. But a big portion of this game is the end game stuff, the raid battles. Yes, there's raid boss battles in this game, but I am very impressed with just the depth of this game. I haven't seen anything about this game at all, and that may go to its detriment because I feel like it's actually going to be really good.
Okay.
If nobody knows what this game is, Granblue Fantasy is a popular mobile game, gacha game, that's popular in Japan and in other parts of the world. I don't know if they ever released an English version for this. Nevertheless, we now have a Tales of Arise combat system with over 19 playable characters that all play differently from each other. It is a non-live service game, so this game is going to come out and require nothing else from you when you buy it. I know I'm selling you guys hard. I'm trying to sell you.
Not me.
I know.
Me.
19's too many characters.
Definitely me. Definitely me though.
Well, you don't have to play 19 characters. There's just a lot of characters to play as. But the fact that they're not DLC, like that, like that's pretty cool. Like they're not making you do that. There is a Monster Hunter type like online battle system.
I'm out.
Where
I'm even more in now.
I know. Like, let me tell you, man. Let me tell you, this game is gonna like ruin my life. I have a feeling it's kind of nuts.
Oh my God.
But after playing the demo for this game, it's on PS5. Shameless plug. But I pre-ordered the deluxe edition right afterward. Like there was no question from me.
I love it.
I'm sold. I'm absolutely sold. The combat is fun. It is Tales of Arise like, so it is very action paced, like user forward. There, it's got the same thing kind of as Tales of Arise, where your characters all have ultimates. Your characters can all do ultimates at the same time, sort of deal here, and you get big flashy attacks. Again, I was amazed and floored by this game's depth because I thought it was just going to be like a live service gotcha game. It is not. It's not that. It's more. So much more.
Where'd you play the trailer?
The
Oh,
Trailer?
demo?
You mean the demo?
Sorry, the demo.
PS5.
Okay.
He's downloading it right now.
That's exactly what I'm doing. That is exactly what I'm doing.
To be fair, Barry, I have it in my GameFly queue. I do because I intend I put everything in my GameFly queue. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
And like I said, my 2 hours to any game I try this year, because I feel like games for me, I'll play for like a half hour and be like, nope, and then I end up missing out on good games. I feel like 2 hours is fair. Okay.
Yeah,
I love it. You have me sold, good sir.
Look at some of the videos on YouTube if you're interested, but the whole online component is kind of like a Monster Hunter thing where you get to pick one of the 19 characters you can play from. You can pair up with 3 of your friends and you go and face like this raid boss battle type thing. So Craig, if you want a friend to play with, you just got to let me know and I'll join you. Just cuz I didn't get to try the online out. I tried it but nobody joined me. So again, like I feel like this game's not marketing campaign or not marketing it really at all is going to hurt it slightly because I don't think a lot of people know about this game or know like that it's potentially very good. I had a lot of fun with that demo. A lot of fun.
Okay. Before I go into mine, just a side note again. Did none of us spend the $10 for the Last of Us Part 2 upgrade?
So, okay. So we know
because
I bought.
I did.
Oh yeah,
we know I bought the Last of Us 2. Unfortunately, due to the weather circumstances in our area, I was supposed to get it on Friday. I did not get it on Friday. I tried to change it to pickup for Saturday. UPS sucks and tells me that you can't pick it up. Like it's at our local station, but you can't get it. So I just kind of gave up.
Okay.
After that, like UPS made it very difficult to get my package, and I'm supposed to get it Monday. All I can do is wait and see.
Okay. I was just thinking about that. I was like, you know what? I didn't even bother to spend the $10 yet.
I wanted to. I wanted to give you guys the impressions, but that's why I'm the demo man this week because I wasn't playing last.
Yeah.
Okay. So back on track for me then. Prince of Persia and the Lost Crown. I had to look it up because I kept forgetting what the title was. I am not the biggest Metroidvania fan. I think we all know that. But this game did a good job of getting me back into Metroidvania games. The slow drip of like getting your powers. It's like you start off pretty normal, and then you get your double jump, then you get your air dash, and then you get like, you have your parry and all this other stuff, and you just keep getting more and more stuff as you progress. It kept me interested enough to get through the whole game. It was probably about, I don't know, 10 to 15 hours, I think, to get through it all. And I didn't go and find everything, but I found most of everything. The boss battles are enjoyable. I think the art style works. The way it does the cutscenes, everything in this game, which shouldn't work this way, is very anime, which is just threw me off because Prince of Persia has never been that. Like, I love all the Prince of Persia games. The ones on like the 360 and PS3 area were phenomenal. But this is like old style 2D side scroller with 3D backgrounds. And I will just say this, there is, when you get to like the last couple boss battles and you're fighting like the last person, it is the closest I have ever felt in a video game where I felt like I was playing in a Dragon Ball Z anime. Because I'm telling you, like, I'm fighting, because like the main villain has like the time bending powers that you do, kind of. So like you fight him a couple times, but like you're fighting him and you're air dashing and he's disappearing and pulling over here. So all you see is like dash dash. You see like lines going all over the screen. And then every boss has a special attack that you can counter. But if you don't counter and you get hit by it, it goes into this like mini cutscene that looks straight out of Dragon Ball Z, where like he'll kick you, you'll go flying up in the air, it'll zoom in on his face, and he'll get like the that like gleam that comes out of their eyeball.
Oh,
It's like
yes. Oh, we know. Yep.
and then, yep. And then he'll do his special attack and he'll hit you like 80 times, and then you'll fall to the ground and like there'll be like a crater. You know what I mean? Like Dragon Ball Z. And I was just sitting there playing. I'm like, I feel like I'm watching Dragon Ball Z when I was in high school again, because I'm just like all these lines. It's really, really good. That boss battle is already on my list for best moments in gaming for this year. I thought it was just incredibly well done. I think it's $50 the game,
Yes.
or you
Yep.
can do Ubisoft Plus. It's $18 for the month and beat it, and then be done with it if you really want to do that. I would highly suggest everybody checks it out. I think it's going to go under the radar quite a bit. I can't put it on a list. It's way too early. I don't know
That
what
was
else
my
is coming out
question.
this year.
That was
But
my
for
question.
now, I would say it's firmly on the top 10 list. But there's a lot of games that come out. It's definitely going to be like one of the biggest surprises for me this year. It's like a hi-fi rush for me, where I played it. I'm like, I didn't expect to like this game at all, but I did. So yeah, a big surprise. Check that out. It's cheaper than normal because it's a shorter game. I think they have something here that they could potentially make more of. So it's not just Ubisoft open world games every 6 months like they've been doing. Speaking of Avatar, Barry, I know you played this a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was playing the game, I know we had talked and you were saying that like you were having trouble playing it for an extended period of time, right?
Yeah.
I was also having the same issue and I couldn't figure out why. And then after about like the second hour, I was like, it clicked for me. It's like Far Cry Primal, if you remember
Okay.
that
Yeah.
game.
Yep.
Okay.
And I didn't like that game. I did not like that game because it took away everything I liked about Far Cry. And it was like, here's a bow and go kill some animals. Now you do get other things besides a bow in Avatar. The game is gorgeous. I'll give it
Mm-hmm.
that. Like running around and seeing Pandora is incredible. That intro is way too long. Oh my god, does it go
Yeah,
on
it is.
forever?
Yep.
Oh boy.
Whew. But I will say the movement feels good. I think it's a decent game. I just don't know if it's going to keep my interest to play the whole way through it for however long it is, 30 hours, whatever. The story is Avatar like, I guess.
Very, very much so. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, hey, the humans are being bad again. Go kill them. That's pretty much what it is. It's not bad. I don't know. What is it? It's like a mediocre game. Is that fair, Barry?
Yeah, and
Mediocre?
apparently everybody says like, oh, the moment you get like to fly around in
Right.
Pandora, it's another big event. But you have to get there first, and
Correct.
my problem is getting there. I don't know how
That's
long
the
it
part I'm
takes.
trying to get to, because
Yeah.
I want to give the game its due until I can fly, because I heard the same thing. And if after I fly, I'm just like, nah, then I'll put it down. But I do at least want to get to that point to give it its chance, because everybody's like, oh my God, you can go anywhere and you can fly and you can go way up high and just dive down in. That sounds cool to me. Like that sounds like a ton of fun. So I'm kind of waiting to get to that point. But the beginning is rough.
Mm-hmm.
It's very rough. But when you get out of that intro section and first go into Pandora with all the color, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And then the last one, this will be a good transition for you, Craig, since you played it more than me, but Palworld. Not my style of game, right? That like survival, but it does have Pokemon. My first initial reaction is this game does not feel like a real game. It feels like something made in Unreal Engine editor. Does it not? Like everything is like
Yeah,
super plasticky, shiny.
it is.
Uh it just, every time I see a tech demo for Unreal Engine, that's what it reminds me of playing this game.
Hmm.
But it's intriguing. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I want to understand what's going on, but I don't like that style of survival where it's just kind of like figure it out on your own. Like
Yeah.
we're not going to tell you anything. Um, But this might be the biggest plus for Xbox being like, yeah, we'll put that on Game Pass. Why not? And it ends up being this huge phenomenon. But yeah, I haven't played enough really to give like full opinion, so I'll throw it to you.
This is bad. It's gonna be bad for certain people. I think it's gonna be bad for me after how long I've played it. Because there is a lot of addicting gameplay. I'm not normally a survivor game or survival type of game either.
Mm-hmm.
But like most people, what intrigues me is the Pokemon aspect of it. It does have a plasticky feel, and
Yeah.
that we're not going to tell you anything, and is more of because like my first impression was, oh my god, holy like Zelda, because they
Yep.
throw you in. They even have like the quiet, like light music playing as you're walking amongst the world, like you do in Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. And I swear some of the sounds, maybe not the chest sounds, but like some of the sounds I think were borrowed, like, or at least their cadence or their pitch or whatever are like almost borrowed directly from Zelda. You don't
I
quote
think
me on it,
I
but
think so much stuff has been stolen in this
yeah,
game.
it looks like a hodgepodge of a bunch of
Yeah.
games. It really does. It's a Pokemon, Zelda, um,
Dragon Quest.
Dragon Quest, yeah,
Yeah.
Dragon Quest style. But I mean, they throw you in. They don't really, they have like the whole guide that you can go if you want to read for an hour, but like you basically have to figure it out. But you start with like just minimal stuff, and it's a base building, but there are a bunch of pals walking around, various looking Pokemon esque creatures that either look like a Pidgey, but like 50% of a Pidgey, or like 40% of a Venusaur. Like I literally was like, that's a Venusaur. That's a
Yep.
Venusaur. Like,
Yep.
and they're walking around a lot of, or at least a lot of the ones that I faced. I'm not far enough into the game where they're not probably like all violent at once, but a lot of them are docile. And what you essentially do is catch them in a Pokeball similar style. One of the coolest animations of the game is actually catching something. Because you throw this PAL ball at it, and it actually goes up in the screen, and then a little percentage pops up to show how like what percentage of it that it's caught. And there's like this really cool music playing while you do it. It's actually pretty cool there. Where you get addicted though is the progression, because you need to catch 10 of this, and then you get more experience, you build up, you get better things that you can build in your base, and then you can build more bases. But as I started like leaving my initial one, I really kind of enjoyed the world. There's treasure chests everywhere, but you have to have copper keys, which you have to get by finding them. So like there's stuff that keeps being added that makes the progression happen faster and the boredom not on set as fast as I thought it would be. I don't know how long I'm going to play this, because I mean I only have like 10 varieties caught, and I think there's like 100 or something
There's a
like that.
lot. Mm-hmm.
So they have trainers, which are almost like antagonists in the game, which are humans who also have their own pals, and they even have like Elite Four style dungeon areas where like one of my goals in the game that I'm probably going to start after this podcast is you have to challenge this clan in their tower. And I was like, this is Elite Four, but it is real time. So it is real time. And then some of the battling that you can do is you can use the pals to fight alongside you. I did get the first power where you and the pal can combine. It's essentially a Vulpix, their version of a Vulpix. You make this special harness, and then that pal becomes a flamethrower for you that you can use. That's like the first thing that I've unlocked. And apparently there's multiple things down the road that you can utilize.
I saw something as well outrageous where some dude was stuffing a penguin into a bazooka gun.
Yeah,
He then
yeah.
shot it out and it exploded on enemy base. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
what? I don't even know what this game is.
Game is wild. It's wild.
It is, but you don't what I like is you don't kill anything, you knock them out. They clear
Not killing anything.
like
I've seen people, they get a butcher knife and they can butcher their Palmon.
I haven't gotten
You
that
can
far.
You can butcher people. You can catch people in this game.
You
I
can
ha-
catch people.
I haven't seen that yet. That's how like
Okay.
that's how
That's
much 8 hour. No, that's crazy because that's how I
Yeah.
haven't even I've run across 2 people in my
Mhm.
entire time frame, and like one's in the tutorial area and one is in a further portion of the tutorial area, but I've been playing so much just wandering around Zelda that
Yeah.
I haven't really gotten that far, but I did not know you could do that. Now I'm
You
more
you
intrigued.
know,
No,
my first video I saw on this game was somebody threw a Powerball, captured a human, and then went to the merchant and sold the human. And it was just like the video they do like the side eye where they go, uh I'm sorry, what? You sold somebody? But yeah, that was my first introduction. I was like, what is this game?
yeah.
What is happening?
I was intrigued by the gunplay, but I haven't even gotten
Yeah.
to the guns yet. You know, you start off with a bow and arrows, and then you get like better bows and such. But I think everybody should try it. It's free on Game Pass and early access. Don't sell humans. Just a PSA
You know
there.
what it looks like? It looks like those fake mobile ad games. That's what it looks like. You play this game and you're like, is this like something that I get installed in my Xbox that's gonna like mine crypto
Yeah.
or
Yep.
something? That's what it feels like. But apparently not. Apparently it's all good. But yeah, I don't know who made this game, but it does look like they stole assets from just about
They did.
every game out there. So I don't know if this game's going to get taken down in the future, get sued by Pokemon or something. We'll see.
Yeah, and I don't know. Um, it's still rocky, you know, because early access. So I still have a pal disappear in the landscape somehow. So there's all that. There's that kind of stuff, but it's pretty. It's pretty addicting. It's not easy. And they have small things like if you die, your pouch or everything you're carrying is left where you died, and you only have fast travel points to be able to get, you know, through it. At least for me right now, you can start riding stuff later. But I mean, they have that you better get it, you know, if you die kind of thing that a lot of survival games have too. But it's definitely an interesting play. I'll keep playing it. Um
I have to start.
Yeah, Barry, you should try it.
and you could play it with your pals in the
Yeah.
world.
You
Yeah.
can.
You know, it is multiplayer is
We
what
can
I'm
shoot
saying.
each other with shot.
And then the other game, different type of dark, but still a game is We Happy Few. Um, I don't know how I missed this game. It came out in 2018, but it's available on Game Pass. I think it just recently got added, so that's what piqued my interest, or at least it was. They're advertising it on their main page.
It was on there, then they got rid of it, then they put it
Oh,
back
then they
on.
brought it back.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Mhm.
for somebody who has only had Game Pass, I cannot believe it for 3 years. 2 years.
Mhm.
Wow. Yeah, for somebody who's only had Game Pass actually for 2 years, officially. So like that makes sense that I didn't see it. But We Happy Few is a game. It's set in like a alternate World War II type of universe. There's 3 playable characters throughout the story, but you essentially play. It's like in, I don't know if it's Germany or it's a European country. Um, and in this alternate universe, people take this drug called joy, which keeps them happy. It's kind of like Equilibrium. It's the movie Equilibrium without
Yep.
Matrix style karate. Um, People take joy on a regular basis to repress memories and all of the urges except happiness. But you start as, at least the person that I have started as a guy that works in some type of mail room in the town, and he essentially just forgets to take it. He misses taking his dose, and when you do that, you gradually regain your memories and, to the most degree, your humanity back. So it's about trying to traverse across the area, not get caught by everybody else who is under the influence of the drug, policemen, townspeople, all that type of stuff. But I mean, I like it. It's got a BioShock feel to its landscape design and character design. It has like, I mean, anytime you hear an old record playing with some like old timey sounds like, you know, the Roaring Twenties like type of song, I just think of BioShock. But it's a good playthrough. You know, I'm only in the first character. My wife and I are playing it together, so we're kind of just handing it off. And there's some basic stealth, basic like melee crafting, all that type of stuff to get you through it. But like the story and the environment is really what keeps you hooked because there's a lot of weird stuff going on. There's a lot of dilapidated buildings and townspeople who are like under the influence of this drug, but like don't take it very well. So you have like those type of strung out people who are resistant to the drug but still like want to take it. You have the people who are taking it and under the influence, and then you have people who are not. So like other games, they tell the story by either finding journals, notes, and then an actual gameplay. But it's a good play. I like that story. I don't think I've ever played a game like that. But it's on Game Pass and it's free, so I would recommend it. But play Palworld first.
Fair.
Okay. We'll then get into movies and TV shows. Where this week I watched Lift on Netflix, starring
That's
Kevin
Kevin
Hart.
Hart. Yeah, it's Kevin Hart. Okay. I knocked out. It's on a roll again. The Marvels. Next Goal Wins. Reacher season 2 finished, and Waitress the musical. On a roll.
You are on a roll. Jeez. It's like this. It's January 20th, my guy.
I
Good
know. I'm
Lord.
trying to watch every movie this year.
Or
Remember?
21st. Yeah. Wow. I watched American Nightmare.
Okay. On
That's
Netflix,
all.
right?
It's on Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I only have one. Do you guys mind if I just get it out the way so
Do
you
it.
guys can take it to
Do
go to
it.
town? Okay, so um American Nightmare is on Netflix. If the name sounds familiar to you, if you're listening or watching this, it's because it's in the top 10 in terms of what the US is watching via Netflix. It's a 2024 documentary series on what I consider one of the most interesting cases or kidnapping cases, at least. It's essentially a story about two people, their boyfriend and girlfriend. They, according to the story, um, the girlfriend gets kidnapped in the night. They get essentially somebody breaks and enters. A couple of people break and enter, and they tie him up. They take the girlfriend, and then it's all about trying to figure out where she is. But I know that's because like I don't want to ruin anything, but it gets a lot deeper. There's a lot of back and forth with this. It's 3 episodes, but it's a really nice 2 hour collective watch of why and who and why, like why was this person kidnapped in general. They both are middle class. They're both like physicians, like and it just doesn't make sense. And then you suspect almost multiple people, throughout your entire watch. So it was my Pow World buddy, i.e., that I was watching it while playing Power World, or at least a couple of the hours of Power World that I played. But it's a nice watch. It's got a compelling. I think that the documentaries are hit or miss nowadays because there is a specific style that you have to film it in order to keep the general public engaged. This is one of those ones. They have the music at the right part. They have the twists and turns at the right sections so that you don't feel like you just need to watch one episode. You got the cliffhangers, and the interviewing styles and the characters, the real life people, sorry, that they interview. There's enough personality in there to keep you going. But it's called American Nightmare. It's going to make you want to lock your doors a little bit harder.
I always lock my doors.
Let's see here. I can go next.
Go ahead. Give me that Kevin Hart.
Lift, Lift with Kevin Hart, Netflix. It is a heist comedy action movie, is what I'll call it. Very Oceans like is what I would
Okay.
say. I just had a lot of fun with this film. I don't necessarily think Kevin Hart is any sort of this fantastic actor that is should be bound, but the dude has enough money to fund his own movies at this point, so why not?
Yeah.
I guess is his thinking. Uh, he pretty much takes the main role as Cyrus, and then I want to say the government agent, and oh man, I am gonna, I, I shouldn't even pronounce her name. It's like Juju or Juju. But she plays Abby. Um, she's one of the officers at Interpol. It went. If you guys look it up, like
Yep.
I can't.
I'm
If
looking
I,
at her right now. Good
yeah,
luck. She was in
yeah,
Loki though.
she is. Yes, she's in
Yeah.
Loki.
Mm-hmm.
So just like overall, I actually just had a lot of fun. There are these like ridiculous heist/stunt things that they're trying to do and steal gold from the bad guy sort of deal area here. It's got a couple of actors that you probably recognize. Sam Worthington is in it. Uh, Jacob Batalon from the Spider-Man movie, the most
Mm-hmm.
recent Spider-Man movie. There's a lot of like actors who have smaller parts that you'll recognize, but I was just honestly surprised with how much fun it was. I didn't know how good it'd be, and it's just a fun comedy. I definitely think you could put this on, and at the end of it, nobody's gonna regret watching it. But it's not this mind opening, movie that's gonna be, oh wow, this was it. This was the greatest movie I've ever seen. Not, it's just fun to watch.
You are a lot kinder than everybody else I've heard talk about this movie.
I feel like that's
I
probably the case. I usually don't hate movies, or I don't tend to watch the
Yeah.
ones that I would distaste, but I don't know. I don't have any problem with heist movies, and I just thought it was funny too.
Okay.
Like there's good funny moments.
Good.
Do you think that like I feel like almost every single comedian that turns actor, they always do like they were amazing with their stand up. They do movies. Everybody loves them in movies. At some point, they always reach like that part where they start coming down and people are like, I'm tired of seeing this person. I feel like Kevin Hart's at that point where everybody's like, I don't want to see you anymore. I'm tired of it. Um, I haven't watched it yet, but I was going to, and then I was tend to like read the reviews first, and I was like, oh my god, this movie's getting trashed.
Hmm.
So I didn't watch it at the time, but I do still plan on watching it. I'm glad you liked it. If
Yeah.
you
Yeah, you
like it,
also
that means I'll probably enjoy it.
okay. I was about to say, like, I
Yeah,
think we've had different
yeah.
preferences on movies before. I wouldn't be surprised if you hate it, to be honest.
It
But that's
sounds
why
entertaining.
again, it's one of those movies where I'm like, I didn't regret my time. It's not like
Okay,
I
Yeah.
wish I had those 2 hours back.
that's all I need.
And I mean, it's the Kevin Hart algorithm. One movie a year. It's Kevin Hart
Yep,
being Kevin Hart, which has earned him his fame because of the
yep,
comedy. But I mean, Craig, you bring up a good point though. Like, it's a lot of Kevin Hart,
yep,
a
yep.
lot,
I
all
I
the
just
time.
remember like the first thing that comes to my mind is like Dane Cook. You remember
Yeah.
he hit that point where it was like, oh my god, stop doing movies. We're tired of it.
Yeah.
But like I still watch Employee of the Month like twice a year.
Oh, that
I
that
love that.
movie's. Yeah, this is an '81 Honda. How dare you?
I love that movie to death. Barry, have you ever seen that movie?
That's the one where they work in like a Costco, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
Jessica
I've
Simpson's
seen that movie
the love
far too
interest.
many.
It's so
Oh,
I've
good.
seen
so
that.
good.
Yeah, I've seen
Andy
that movie
So
Andy
good.
far
Dick
too many times.
Yeah.
Andy Dick is awesome in that. Oh my god,
It's a classic. Like,
it is a
but I
classic.
remember like after that it was like what, Good Luck Chuck.
Good luck,
And
Chuck. My
then
best
and then
friend's
like
girl was that one.
and it, and that's when everybody started turning. And they're
Yeah,
like, you need to go away. So I feel like Kevin Hart has reached that point. Which is unfortunate. I like Kevin Hart. I
I
think
like
he's a
Kevin Hart
funny
too.
guy.
Yeah, same.
Okay, so here we go. The Marvels. Finally got to see that because nobody saw it in theaters. Um, I think first and foremost, the end sets up stuff that I'm super excited for in the Marvel universe. I won't say what it is, but there's two things, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited. The three of them working together is exactly what I wanted out of this movie. I enjoy all of them together. The villain is decent. This movie is like it just moves. It's like an hour and a half. It's like go, go, go. Like, here's the story. All right, cool. You're at the end. It's one of those. But I did enjoy it. But we are at the point now where we got to stop with all these random on their own movies and start tying this stuff together because it's getting a little out of control where it's like, oh yeah, this is a villain. Okay, that villain's dead. And it has like no impact on the Marvel universe. Whereas before we were going to see all these movies and being like, oh my God, Iron Man 3 just led me into Guardians, or you know what I mean? Like everything tied together. They're only doing it with these like 30-second end credit scenes. Like we got to start wrapping it up and getting to something here because I'm getting a little impatient. But overall, like the movie's worth a watch. It's probably like the Kevin Hart movie. You watch it once and be like, yeah, that was fun. That's pretty much how I feel about the Marvels.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, like Marvel doesn't really know where it wants to go or anything,
Yep.
especially like, that movie was done and finished before all the stuff with Jonathan Majors
Right.
became finalized and stuff like that. So
That's a good point.
hopefully they don't just erase it. But I'm the same way with you. Like even if it's just, you know, like minor, like maybe they just team up, like two superheroes that we know have their own movies,
Yeah.
like team up or something like that. At least a story that shares something that they've been building toward. Because
Right.
right now it's just like we're picking off minor person after minor person
And
after
I don't
minor
want
person.
to I don't want to sell it short because they did do that with this movie. You took Captain Marvel and you took Miss Marvel from a TV show and you combined them working together, and then you brought in Monica Rambeau from WandaVision. So they are combining three different things. So I will give them credit for that. But we still need to be like, okay, where's the major villain, like the overall villain? Who is it? We need to decide. And
Yeah.
then we need to start teaming up with, like, we've teased Avengers, we've teased Young Avengers, we've teased X-Men, we've teased all this stuff at this point. Like, pick one. Just pick one and let's go. Um Next Skull Wins. I really, really like this movie a lot. Harry, you need to watch this movie. This is a
I know I do.
yeah, true story. This is a Taika movie, so you know the kind of humor you're going to get about a coach who goes to coach the American Samoa football team, who has not scored a goal ever in competition, and it's incredibly well done. The humor is hilarious, and everybody in this movie is just incredible. It was on my radar a little bit, and then I totally forgot about it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that movie." And I'm glad I watched it. It's a very good movie. Um, Waitress the musical. That's a musical. We all love musicals here, right?
I mean, yes, I do.
I enjoy musicals. So this is one that I've heard. It's won a lot of awards. I admit that, like, I went into this and I had no idea what this musical was about. I was like, oh, it's about a waitress in a diner. That's about it. There's a lot going on. The music's really good. The story was really, really good. So now I understand why it was winning all these awards. Sarah Bareilles, the former one-hit wonder, does an incredible job in this. So I really enjoyed that. It's like 2.5 hours, so it's not quite as long as musicals really are normally, but I liked it a lot. And then Reacher season 2's over. Um, just as good as the first season. I'm ready for season 3. I absolutely love that man to death. And he is a lot more brutal and unforgiving in this season, which I did not expect. Like, I don't, maybe I'm misremembering, but I felt like he had a little bit of compassion in the first season, where in this one, he's like interrogating somebody and then like they give him all the information and then he just kills him anyway. Like, just like for no, like he was, they're not like, it doesn't really give anything away, but he's interrogating somebody who's in a hospital already, and he's using air to put air into this dude's catheter to get him to talk,
Oh yeah,
right?
that is yeah.
Which is brutal, right? And he gets him to talk, and he's like, okay, so he stops and he pulls out the syringe of air and then just puts it in his line going into his IV and shoots air into it to give him a stroke. And I was like, oh, that's not the Reacher that like
Oh
we're
my
used
word.
to, where he's just like, oh
Yeah.
my god, this man's just murdering people the worst way possible. But super entertaining. The supporting cast is incredible, and just give me like 8 seasons of Reacher and I'm in,
Okay.
because it's so good. Go watch that if you haven't started yet. It's only like 7 episodes, I think. But yeah, that wraps it up.
All right. I'll be watching Reacher soon. I just feel
Okay.
like we're so close to the end of football, and then my Sundays will become
Mm-hmm.
much freer. It's just have to
Yep.
get to the end of football, and we're
Yep,
be a lot better. It feels like. Uh,
we're
but
close.
yeah, we'll go ahead and end the podcast here. I appreciate everybody listening. If you feel so inclined, please make sure to share the podcast, tell a friend. Make sure to leave a like or review on your podcast listening platform of choice. Please make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube if you're watching there. Sorry about the audio version this week. I don't know what Spotify did with it, but it's going to be up tomorrow. So now you're going to get 2 podcasts, one a week old, and the next day a new one. It's a little rough, but I'm figuring it out as we go along. Thanks, Spotify, for that. I appreciate it. So just keep that in mind. I appreciate all of the feedback and the support that everybody gives us every time, and we'll continue to grow and be better. Have a good day, guys.
See you later.
Bye, guys.